Alright, hey guys, Pax here. Welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, we're going to be going over Golurk. Debatably one of the most fun cards to use. Really do enjoy this card's gimmick. We also have, as you can see, we have a guest for our channel. We have Yamayugi himself accompanying us, as you can see from the right banner. Amazing art from the late great Kazuki Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's here because the main theme for this video is drawing monster cards. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course is the best for just drawing monster cards. I'm just going to play the meme right here. There's a meme that's, yeah, it's going to be basically a theme of this video, this meme right here. Yeah, as you can see from behind my player model, I'm just going to hide myself briefly. I'm blocking a bit of it, but it really doesn't matter because as you can see, a lot of monster cards, a lot of Pokemon. I'm just going to pull up the deck list right here. I'm going to talk more about Golurk in the video, of course. Golurk has his little team on his back, just basically powering him up because, of course, if you look at this card right here, Golurk, HP 130, stage 1, of course, has 1 attack, heavy rocket, requires 2 energy. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 damage for each Pokemon with a retreat cost of 3 or more. You find there, shuffle the revealed cards back into your deck. In other words, you want to primarily just keep on pulling monster cards. It's literally that scene. Like, let's draw a monster card though. That's exactly how you play this deck. Very fun. And yeah, in regards to the cards I've chosen, it's really up to your preference. You could really use any card that has a retreat cost of 3 or higher. I primarily chose this bunch right here because this is also a good flex deck if you want to kind of flex your art, like the Gyarados, Floor Gyarados, Tangrowth, why not? Mamoswine, sure. Because the only card that you'll be playing on the field is Golett, pretty much, just 2 Golets. So in other words, you can really use any card you want. Like, again, I just chose these because this is my preference. And in case you guys are wondering like how to pick a card, like how to find the retreat cost, you can just go down your cards list, pretty much just go down and like select some cards. Like if I want, I could add this Vileplume, what else? Like, yeah, this Executor as well. Just kind of go down like that and add 11 Pokemon cards to this deck. It really is up to you. You could add a lot more if you want. You could remove the Sabrina, but I feel like 11 is a pretty good and safe bet to essentially guarantee that Golurk is doing max damage because, again, keep in mind, this card can do a max of 180 damage. 180 damage, and if you want, instead of Sabrina, you could add Red, nearly one-shotting Mega Blaziken. Just keep that in mind, and of course, one-shotting a lot of EXs. If you guys are new to my channel, I really do appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It really does help me out, especially as a small-time content creator. And without further ado, let's get right in to the deck showcase. All right, here we are in our first battle. We are going against the Mega Absol Ex solo deck. And again, if you guys are new to my deck showcases, how these deck showcases usually go, I'm going to release 3 battles. First battle is a solo battle, just to get the feel for our deck. Next 2 will be in PvP. Going second and looking at our hand, does look somewhat promising. We can get Golurk out as fast as possible. And also one thing to note in regards to this deck, in regards to choosing the Pokemon, you want to make sure your Pokemon are either a stage 1 or stage 2, because if they're basic, then it'll make it a lot harder to get Golurk out, because again, for this deck, you ideally just want to have Golurk in your field. That's really the only Pokemon. Yeah, pretty much right now, just end our turn, attack. And keep in mind, looking at this, Golurk can do 180 damage max without red and type advantage. Given that, we can just one-shot this Absol. If we can get 3 Pokemon, just like revealing 3 Pokemon, max 180, yeah, this is where we have to basically count on just the harder cards, just like Yamayugi right here, just again chilling, just right. I don't know what he's doing, man. He's like just outside the Golden Gate Bridge, about to just jump into the water, just farming aura. This is not the worst. So at this point, I might as well okay, not that bad, because after this turn, if we don't just automatically win, then we might as well just start building up our second copy of Golurk. So yeah, we got Golurk right here. All we need is a Golett. All right, here we go. Harder cards, man. This is where it gets tense. I'm just gonna bob and weave, yes, because this is gonna be really intense right here. Heavy rocket, and just literally draw. Oh, okay, that was the worst draw we could ever get. Okay, how many supporter cards do we have? How many trainer cards? Let me just look here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 trainer cards. We pulled 3 out of 5 there. Okay, that's interesting. But it's not over yet. It really isn't over. We shuffled our cards, so it really is up to the second turn right here. If not, we lose, which is why this deck is very high risk, high reward, of course. Yeah, looking at it, it's good, but I feel like there's a lot of meta decks like in the meta that's a lot better, but it's a lot of fun. Like if you want a very casual deck to use, that kind of encompasses kind of like Exodia in a sense, because you can just essentially just win depending on the circumstances like this, then this is a deck for you just for fun. But here we go. Come on, please, harder cards, man. Summoning my inner Yugi. Okay, we are doing 60 damage. Okay. This is essentially how you want to play the deck. Again, high risk, high reward, but it really is up to your RNG. I'm not believing hard enough. This Yugi is just laughing at me right here. Just look at that freaking smug ass smirk right here. Yeah, he's like, yeah, dude, you don't have main protagonist energy, but I'm gonna do one more soul battle just to kind of show how effective this deck is. That was, yeah, man, I just gotta believe hard enough, pretty much. All right, here we go. Golurk is out. We got 2 Golurks out. This is very good. All right, so my opponent does have Dino out in the bench, so Hydreigon could one-shot Golurk, keep in mind, which is pretty scary, but we do have, I believe it's called Heavy Helmet, kind of blanking on the name, but yeah, as you can see, one Poketool that kind of does buff Golurk defensively. So we're gonna Sabrina, and we shall see. I want my opponent to sub in Mega Absol. Perfect. He's gonna do it. Nice. Here we go. Heart of the cards. I have 13 cards in my deck. A lot of them are Pokemon cards, so here we go. Draw! Okay. Look at that. Exactly. Enough said, man. Just summon your inner... Just believe in the heart of cards and you will win. You just gotta have main character energy, and look at that. Easy win. That's like my second turn. Going second. Golurk dominance. Just, yeah, a lot of potential and very satisfying. Especially if you are going against something like Mega Absol and can really just mess up your opponent. Again, like you could just instantly win like this. And with that being said, we shall see how this deck performs in PvP battle. All right, here we are in PvP battle, going against Lightning. So we can just, I think we can just one-shot or Courier pretty much. If we get like only 60, interesting. Playing Eevee. Next turn we can just get Golurk out, which is nice. It's doing damage onto this Eevee. Next turn, even if my opponent evolves into, I'm assuming, Jolteon Ex, we can just one-shot that card with Golurk. And granted, I mean, it is a bit of RNG, but it doesn't matter, man. RNG is just a fluke. It's part of the script, man. As part of the script, as long as you have main character energy, as long as you are the Yami, the king of games, then you shall win. Oh, yes, here we go. So if we can get at least 2, if you can reel 2 monsters, I keep saying monsters, I mean Pokemon, then we could just straight up win. Because knocking out this Jolteon Ex right now is going to be huge value. So the main downside is that looking at our hand, we do have a lot of monsters. Yes, monsters. I was going to say it right now. I'm just going to call them monsters at this point. But here we go. Heavy Rocket. Draw! We need at least 2. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And all my opponent has is a Raichu. What are you going to do, man? This Raichu, I just need 2 more. I need to do the same thing again, and I win. Because of type advantage, keep in mind. So, yeah, just like that. A lot of fun. Like, especially if you're in like the middle to, like, if you're in the low to mid tier rank, once rank does come back, you're going to have a lot of fun. And as for a casual battle, currently, I mean, we only have Emblem Event pretty much. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun just right now. So yeah, and also a pretty good investment, a very easy investment, because again, a lot of these cards, I mean, you can just put any card you want in this deck, especially when it comes to Pokemon. And in regards to the trainers, I mean, they're really not that hard to get. All right, next battle, going second. Again, ideally for this deck, you do want to go second just to maximize energy. Going first is rather depressing, given that you have to wait 3 turns until you can attack, whereas if you go second, you don't really have to wait that long. However, this is not that great, because I might as well, just Heavy Helmet. We need to pull a Golurk next turn. This is where RNG really does come in, because aside from using Golurk's attack and then like hoping that you do get Pokemon cards, I need one next turn, man. That's either that or May. I feel like May would help us out a bit, essentially kind of like a better version of Pokemon Communication, but of course it is a supporter card. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, this is where we need that as fast as possible, because keep in mind for Solgaleo, we can one-shot that card. A lot of potential, and if we do, we basically win. So, alright, this is where we truly need to hope. But I believe, man, I totally believe. If anything, we can just take out this Cleffa. So next turn, if you can get Golurk out, we can potentially one-shot the Solgaleo and just win the game. Oh boy, actually, Steel Apron. We still have a chance. We definitely still have a chance. This Golurk's being, it's gonna get taken out. Golurk has 1/3 HP, able to survive 1 attack from Solgaleo, so we are kind of forced to a KO if we can get the Pokemon out, but we didn't. That's the main issue for this deck, is that you're gonna run into scenarios like this. This is, yeah, again, high risk, high reward, but I mean, give me one more turn, man. Please, just do it, man. Just do it for the video. I'm not gonna do anything. You wouldn't just take out this innocent Golett, man. He's not, okay, he did. Okay. Next battle. I'm just gonna keep this in the video just to kind of show the reality for this deck. Like, a lot of potential, but at the same time, if you can't pull Golett, if you can't get Golurk out as fast as possible, then of course, you will lose. What is going on right now? Okay, we are going against 2 mana fees. My opponent just Team Rocket grunted. Golett, oh gosh, man, what? This guy has like, what, 7 cards? Can only pull mana fees. That's very interesting. Does Giant Cape, okay. This mana fee will survive, but it's a Golurk, it's a Golett versus 2 mana fees. This is gonna be a rather interesting battle to say the least. All right, we have Golurk out, and I want this guy to red card or Mars me, please. At this point, it would help me out tremendously if that happens. Pulls Lucia, okay, we might be in trouble, but keep in mind, I mean, Golurk, again, can do 120 to 180 damage, can do a ton of damage. I really don't know what he's running, but you're gonna run into these if you're in the Emblem event. Like, this is why I kind of miss ranked. This like playing against like top performing decks, so, like the kind of competition aspect isn't really there, which I mean is good just for casual battle, but I mean I do like the option for that, just hop in rank and just be super depressed with my life. All right, here we go. Hand is not looking good. That's okay, because yeah man, we have 11 cards. All our trainer cards are in our deck, but I believe, man, Heavy Rocket, all we need is 1 monster. Perfect. There we go. 120 onto this Innocent Mana Fee, and then sure, Porygons. Okay. Man, yeah, casual battle is really something. Team Rocket grunts? There's no way, right? Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen this. A Mana Fee Porygon deck. This could be... You never know, man. Maybe in ranked, once rank comes back, this will be huge value. I mean, I haven't seen anyone use this in tournaments so far, but again, don't sleep on it. Alright, here we go. Heavy Rocket. Draw! Mewscarada. Easy. Look at that. Damn, this deck might be Golurk's worst nightmare. Only doing 60 damage, so we could survive hopefully 2 more turns. However, Porygon does mess up our energy, which is not that good, but at the same time, 9 cards. What is, okay, this hand is kind of funny. For some reason, we just can't pull any trainer card. Also, keep in mind this deck, I forgot to say, but as you can see, it doesn't run any professors, which I mean, is rather interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could debate, you could probably like, yeah, you could probably put an argument saying that like you should run a professor, but at the same time, I think it's fine just like this, because again, you don't want to get as many cards as possible like this. You want to have as many Pokemon in your deck as possible. Given that, I mean, looking at her hand, not really that great, but look at that. I think that's what, 120 damage? I think it does count the Golett. 140. Easy one shot. So yeah, I mean, you could, as you can see, this deck doesn't really need Professor's Research. I mean, you do have May to help you out with getting Golett out, as well as other cards to disrupt you, and also defensive cards such as, of course, Heavy Helmet and Sabrina. For our next battle, my opponent is using a very interesting deck, Skarmory Cosmome. Perfect, they got Golurk. At this point, I'm going to play like this. Might as well May, just so that I can get a second copy of Golurk, hopefully. Perfect, okay, nice. And who do I not like here? Sure, I'm just going to do this. Just non-biased, but I'm just going to do this, why not? So we can just evolve into Golurk, and then in a couple of turns, we can just start leading with this card. Draw! Perfect, 180. One-shotting this Innocent Cosmo. I'm doing 130. And yeah, dude. At this point, my opponent really can't do much. I mean, could do some damage once if my opponent can get Excadrill out. But, okay, subbing in Skarmory. Alright, we can one-shot Skarmory. Might as well, man. Let's just win this, dude. Alright, evolves into Excadrill. But it doesn't matter, man. Here we go. Draw! Mewscarada! GG. Oh, yes, dude. This deck is a lot of fun. 180. Yeah, dude. This deck doesn't need Professor Research, man. This deck is quite an enigma. This is really quite an enigma. Just... Yeah, I feel like this playstyle feels very similar to Slugma. If you guys know the Slugma deck, it requires a bit of RNG. Same thing with this deck in regards to just drawing your cards, making sure you can get Golurk out as fast as possible. But if you can get this guy out, then yeah, dude, just summon the harder cards. Just believe in the harder cards and you'll just one-shot any card your opponent puts out. Alright. Holy crap, man. Missy, you gotta chill the fuck out, dude. Damn. On the bright side, we can get Golurk out in a couple turns. Tempted Iona, but I might do it next turn, just so I can get Golurk out. Not gonna attack because Phoebus does have Poison Barb. Misty, man, chill out, dude. All right, Suicune going in, only doing 20 damage. Not that much, and we can just one-shot the Suicune, and we basically win at this point. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this Iono just to make sure, just to give us a little bit of hope that we can get more trainers. Because, yeah, ideally, if you pull out all your trainers this early game, then you're basically guaranteed to do 180 damage. So we got one trainer. Perfect. Sure, we can definitely cook with this. At this point, let's do that. Golurk, come on, man. Draw! There we go. GG. A lot of fun, man. This is truly the most Pokemon Pocket deck of all time. Yeah, that's Golurk in a nutshell. Just a lot of fun. Yep, GG. There's really nothing my opponent could have done. But yeah, that kind of shows how dominating this deck really is during some circumstances. I'm gonna do a couple more battles because this is really... I'm having a lot of fun using this deck. It's very ironic, but I feel like I have a lot of fun using like very non-meta decks just because it just really does amaze me how like effective this deck can really be. All right, this might be our worst nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. We are going against a Guzzlord Ex. Unfortunately, we can't one-shot this card because of course, as you can see, I did 0 damage. The heavy helmet. Oh no. Yeah, this might be a very toxic deck. So not guaranteed to remove. Perfect. Okay, nice. Attempts to will and use heavy hammer. If so, that would mess us up a little bit. Could still mess us up because of Guzzlord EX, but all right, this is where we Iono. I'm tempted to use a heavy helmet, but I'm gonna do Iono just to boost our chances on getting Golurk. Perfect. Our last card. Nice. So this is fine because at this point we can't one-hit KO Guzzlord. So, all right, here we go. Heavy Rocket. I'm fine with 120, man. Just give me 120. Perfect. Okay, 180. Down to, what is this, like 10 HP? Yep. Wow. All right, this is all, okay. This is really this is truly the battle of RNG because opponent can use Grindcore next turn. That could set us back a little bit. If that Grindcore does fail, then we basically win. Unless we get like the worst RNG. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, dude. You can't go up against me, man. I have main character energy. This guy doesn't know. This guy does not know. So, Steela, what the heck are you... What are you gonna do, man? Damn. Just trying to flee out of desperation, but it doesn't matter, man. I can just do this. Boom, boom. Look at that. One-shotting this... Yeah, I had no doubt. One-shotting this Celesteela. Next turn, we could potentially one-shot this Guzzlord. But it really is up to RNG. I mean, it really depends how effective Grindcore will be. Actually, never mind. Surviving because of... I totally forgot. Heavy Helmet. Oh, yeah. This is why Heavy Helmet is very... interesting. It's it really does save you depending on the circumstance. And given this, I mean, yeah, this is pretty rough. But it doesn't matter because my opponent does Ilima, kind of saving him. Subbing in this Guzzlord, interesting. Trying to be a little flashy, sure. Just sub Celesteela back in, essentially being a wall. Next turn, this Golurk, this Guzzlord will do 120. Not being able to one-shot this Golurk, but this is fine. We got May right here, increasing our chances on pulling Golurk, but I guess not. Sure. Heavy Rocket, I believe. Easy one-shot. Look at that, man. 180 damage, 160 because of course, the... Oh, never mind. 180, I forgot. Yeah. I'm losing my mind because this deck is really, really messing up my mind. Okay. Yeah, conceded. Sure, that was a rather messy battle, but as you can see, Golurk was on top. Just nobody can contain this guy because, yeah, there's a theory that inside Golurk is a perpetual motion machine that produces limitless energy. And yeah, this belief hasn't been proven, as you can see, yeah. But despite that, it is given some tests that it's kind of true. Yes, I don't know where I'm going with this, but next battle. All right, last battle, we are going second. So my opponent, all he did was place Suicune Ex, used a bit of trainer cards. Perfect, we can just do this. And then this is where we basically hope that we can get a Golurk. We have Iono for next turn, so that's pretty good. For now, just attack. Very straightforward, attacking Suicune. All right, opponent places down Cosmog, most likely playing for, of course, Solgaleo. Might as well May. Come on, please give me what I need. Golurk, perfect. There we go. What's up? Who do I hate here? Licky Licky, you're kind of a creep. All right, here we go. Harder cards. And I'm not even sweating, man, because I know this is going to be a guaranteed one-shot. All I need is 2, 1, 2, 3. 180. Just like that. This guy's potential is really limitless, man. Just one-shotting basically anything. Next turn, sub in, let's say like Solgaleo, yeah? Doesn't matter, because Golurk can just one-shot. Surviving Solgaleo as well, with that 130 HP. I feel like if this Pokemon had less HP, it would be more of a glass cannon, but I mean, you could still argue this card is somewhat of a glass cannon, but that 130 HP will make it so that it will survive, which is pretty good. All right, here we go. Yes. The moment we have been waiting for, Solgaleo is out. Look at that, 120 damage, but Golurk is unfazed. Definitely unfazed. Right now, I might as well do this. Next turn, I'll definitely Iono if I don't get Golurk. But here we go. It doesn't matter, because look at this. Draw! Okay. Not one-shotting, but there's still hope. Our last hope here is the Golurk, man. Please come out. Come on, heart of cards, man. Please. He's gotta believe. Going against Keychune doesn't matter. Does not matter because I'm about to win. Sabrina, perfect. This is kind of thinning the trainer cards, kind of, hopefully. But it doesn't matter because, of course, we are gonna Iono. Come on, man. Heart of cards. You gotta believe. Summon my inner Yami Yugi. Okay. 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 And yeah, that was the Golurk deck showcase. Overall, a ton of fun. Just, yeah, if you want a very casual deck to use, you could, and also for this deck, you could theoretically make it just a 20 Pokemon deck. Like this, your whole deck is filled with Pokemon, and just lead with Golurk and Golurk. Because I know there are solo battles, there are solo missions where like you have to use just all Pokemon, no trainers. And you can very much run this deck doing that. Granted, you do need a bit of RNG because you do want to get Golurk out as fast as possible. But I mean, you could also just keep on resetting until you get the best hand you want. Because of course, if this deck isn't running any trainer cards, then you are guaranteed, as soon as you have Golurk out, you are guaranteed to do 180 damage. Just flat out, just every time you play. Unless for some reason you have no cards in your hand, then of course you are doing 0 damage. But you're most likely not going to get into that type of scenario. If you draw all the Pokemon in your deck already, you're most likely going to lose before doing that. So yeah, overall, I'd rate this deck C tier. I'd say C plus tier. Not that good. Again, like if you want to use this in a tournament or even in high ranks, you might not, I feel like most likely you won't be as successful. But again, it really is up to RNG. I mean, that's like the main issue for this deck. It does require a bit of RNG. Just, you want to make sure you want to get Golurk out as fast as possible, as well as when you draw cards, make sure you don't get any trainer cards to maximize damage. But again, as I stated earlier, high risk, high reward. I feel like this deck, regardless, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Just if you play in the casual mindset, if you just play, just have fun instead of getting into the rank, this like die-hard rank mindset. It's like you always want to win. Then yeah, this deck's gonna be rather stressful. But if you just get into the mindset where just casual, laid back, just something to go up against with your friends or something like that, then yeah, it's a ton of fun. This deck does feel kind of like Exodia in a sense. Like you're not gonna win, sure. Like we don't really have any cards that like this you instantly win when you use it. But again, looking at the soul battle, depending on if your opponent's using like Mega Absol, literally Exodia, just one-shotting that Mega Absol. And yeah, that's a deck showcase. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Yeah, this is I really did enjoy this, making this deck showcase. I feel like, to be completely honest, there have been deck showcases in the past. Flashback to my previous deck showcase. It was rather annoying to record for a number of reasons, but yeah, just using very non-meta decks, you're just gonna have a lot of fun just playing them. Especially again, if you don't take this game too seriously. But yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.